Thank you for joining us today. We're going to address a lot of issues and answer your questions on so many of the things that people have asked me over a whole lifetime of being psychic. I think you'll find it a fascinating, exciting, and possibly even an enchanting journey. Spirituality has always been such a misused, weird, unfathomable word. I think it's been so misused that we really don't know exactly what it means to be more spiritual. And more I'm hearing people ask me, Sylvia, they say, am I really, really spiritual? This is something you never used to hear. So today we're going to explore how to become more spiritual, or really what it's like to become more spiritual, what it is to be spiritual, and maybe wipe away some of the cobwebs of all of this. So are there any questions that any of you have? Yes?
What does it mean to be spiritual, and how is that like being religious?
Yeah, see, that's a very good question, because people sometimes attribute being religionistic with spirituality, and it's not. Spirituality means that I want to center myself the way God wanted me to, because we all came in with a certain chart, a plan, that we wrote out ourselves, that we wanted to perfect a certain way for God. And religion, on the other hand, stands and says, this is dogma, and I'm not against that, but this is dogma, these are rules, these are regulations, where spirituality stands as a canopy over all that. And it says, do good, avoid evil, and really try to help as many people as you can. It's really how simplistic it is. And it doesn't have anything to do with the dogma. It just means that I really, in my heart and soul, do not want to do anything that has a way of hurting anyone. I don't want to put myself out and covertly or inadvertently or any other way hurt people. And that's why religion has to do with dogma, tenets, and that's not what spirituality is about. Not that it can't be that, but spirituality is about 4 or 5 steps higher, because it accepts all of this down here. If you belong to a religion, it says fine, as long as you don't hurt anybody. That's what spirituality says. Yes?
In your spiritual and psychic practices, do you believe in God? Is that where your powers come from?
It's very interesting that you should ask me that, because it's probably one of the most asked questions. And I don't think anyone in this world could ever be or hope to be psychic unless they did believe in God and know with their whole being that it comes from God. What I have found in 43 years of doing this work is the more spiritual you become, the more you let God and let go, the more psychic you become. I think that we go back to the Dark Ages, in which people that had so-called powers were supposed to be in league with the devil or witch-like. See, that's so ridiculous. Because anyone that really aspires to knowing that they have some kind of ability has to know that there is a higher power, which we definitely ascribe to God. Yes?
Should I love God or should I fear Him?
If you fear God, you can't love God. Now, what I find to be truly amazing is that everyone agrees in religious groups, churches, that God is all-loving, all-knowing, and all-powerful. But then they interject, God's mean, hateful, nasty, tyrannical, and humanized. We can't have it both ways. I believe, in an all-perfect, loving God. Now, what you do, though, you should fear, is what you might do to your own soul. That might be the God center that you should fear. Because it's not that you're going to damn yourself to hell, but you can create a wobble in your soul by doing something out of mean or vindictiveness or hatefulness, that you create this warp that happens in the soul. And this is what really we'll address later about going off track, because that's when the soul goes off track. But no, I really believe that loving God, you see, if you love God with all your heart, that wipes away all of the other flotsam and jetsam, so to speak, of do I love God or do I fear God? No, I love God, and then thereby loving God so much I'm going to do what's right. And that's the truest course to spirituality.